day.
Good day to you as well. And hello, everyone. Welcome to MPL Insider Beyond the Books with
Tim
and Emily.
Oh.
So thank you very much for joining us today on the terrifying Thursday the 13th.
Oh, wow. That's a new one. Haven't heard that one yet.
Well, me neither. Thursday the 13th really doesn't exist. It would only matter if we were Templar Knights anyhow.
Oh, well.
Okay. Are you a Templar? No?
I don't want to talk about this.
Not at all. All right. Well, one second.
Ruthie
says that there is
someone popped in.
Someone popped in?
Yeah.
Should we find out? I mean,
yeah, I guess Ruthie,
we usually get a little more information from Ruthie, but she's kind of slacking off. I don't know. We have to talk to Ruthie, but let's welcome into the show Jen Kitzman. What are you doing here?
What are you doing to me?
I'm sorry. You're the one who somehow got onto our show.
I don't have a lot of time before they find me.
Who?
My kids. They never leave anymore, you guys. It's only been a week since school got out. Do you know how many times I have been asked for a snack? Do you know how many times I've been asked to go to the library? You guys have so much stuff going on. You got to start. Found me. Hey, sweetheart. Hey, how's it going? Good. You're hungry. Yeah. Go to the library. Okay. Soon. Why don't you have some carrots? Okay. Yeah. Just have some carrots. I'll see you soon, love. Mwah. Snack. Library.
This doesn't sound like a bad thing at all.
It doesn't sound that bad. Are you specifically? Are you talking about the summer reading program? What?
Yeah.
Jen, what was that board you held up? What was the board?
Well, I try to keep things organized. I try to make sure that we know what's going on. But when you have so many programs, I don't even have enough colors of markers anymore.
Well, you say it like it's a bad thing. I mean, you're very organized. You have a bag full of markers. The summer reading program's a great thing.
Summer reading program, that was one thing. I was okay with that. I was cool with that. Let's read. That's great, right? But then when you add in 42,000 things on top of it, how can I do this all? They're running me ragged.
41,000.
41,000.
Just in June alone, there is, of course, summer reading program. We got 2 teen hangouts. We got story time at the gardens. We got the barnyard ballyhoo. What the heck even is that?
It's animals on the front lawn.
It sounds lovely. It sounds absolutely lovely. But I can't do it all.
Why? Why, Jen?
I wasn't even done.
What?
The snake thing, the marble run, the tie-dye, the painting the library red, white, and blue, that is just June.
It's pretty impressive.
I know. I'm pretty proud of it.
Well, I think you should look at it as if we're keeping you out of trouble. Right?
I am not out of trouble. I am home all day with my kids. I remember that this is what we do. This is what we do every year, but it's never been like this, and it's because of the library. I know it. It's because of the library. You have too much cool stuff. I can't keep it organized. I'm running ragged. You got to cancel some stuff.
We can't cancel stuff.
Sorry.
We're not going to cancel stuff.
Will you buy me some new markers at least? I have no more colors left on this. I don't.
And we're the library. We're not the marker.
Yeah. I think you need
What do you want from me?
A nap? Maybe you should take a nap.
I think I need a nap. I think I need a day between Saturday and Sunday. Ain't enough coffee in the world here, you guys. Just cancel, okay? All right.
No.
It's settled.
No.
Half of them?
We're not. No. None of them.
20?
We might add more. There's always a possibility we might add more.
This is ridiculous.
Let's not even go into July.
Yeah, I'm coming soon. Yeah. No, wait, but let's wait to throw the ball till we're outside. Let's go outside. Wait, don't throw the ball.
She seems stressed.
What?
She seems stressed.
She does seem stressed. Jen, if you're okay,
send a sign.
Yeah, send a sign, send an email, anything. Shoot off a flare. We're just, I'm not going to apologize though for having so much.
I was just going to say, I don't really feel bad. I mean,
I think this is more a Jen problem than a library problem.
Exactly.
Had to Jen gave an inadvertent plug for our summer reading program, which started just a couple days ago.
Yep, on the
And
10th.
It runs through August 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a ton of stuff going on, and it's all great. Next Monday, I mean, this serves as a segue, but there's just so many different types of things being offered this summer for all ages. It's just an incredible lineup. And so
why don't you
make that segue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, coming up next Monday, opening on June 17th, which, by the way, just happens to be my birthday.
I know. I feel like you planned that.
I didn't. I could not have planned it that well. But we have coming up at the... by the way, I feel bad about Jen because did you know that I actually officiated her wedding?
Yes, you did tell me that.
Is it possible that was the start of her downfall?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean... Most things are.
I'll try and talk to her. Hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to her. But to segue into part of the great programming and things that we offer at the library, next Monday is the opening of the American Farmer exhibition. This is something that we are incredibly fortunate to be having. It is something that we, a couple years back, we had a different exhibition here called Away from Home. It was about the American Indian boarding school program. These are the same people that put these touring things together. This one is completely different from that one. This focuses exclusively on, as the title says, the American farmer. And it serves on a couple of levels, but one is people hear the word farmer and they have a definite stereotype that pops to mind.
Oh, yeah.
This exhibition with its 45 full color portraits and some in black and white blows that rumor out of the water. It shows that there isn't a single face for American farmer. And for example, there are these two pictures that we have here. And then there's another one that, this is just 4 of the 45. But it also shows, like a bedrock of American society that all too frequently gets overlooked, most especially in an age of corporate farming. You don't think about this family farms that are still around. And it also makes you think about like where things come from in this age of where, you're at the nail salon and the grocery store. People, myself included, a lot of the time, you don't think about where your sustenance is coming from. And this is a fantastic reminder. And we have a lot of great programming that is focused on rural American topics, from the Three Sisters method.
With Oneida Nation Museum.
With the Oneida Nations Museum is coming to give a talk on that. Later in September, we have a screening of a movie called Greener Pastures, which is about 4 Midwestern farm families. And one of the people featured in the film, his name is Jeff Ditzenberger. He's a farmer and a rural mental health advocate from Monroe. He'll be there for the screening to run a Q&A afterwards. And there's just a ton of really good rural focused programming.
Everything just kind of marries very nicely.
Yeah. And you know what? We're like the segue kings this month, actually, as it turns out. But head to www.manitowoclibrary.org, go to our events calendar, and check everything out that we have to offer. And one of the things that we're offering is, I would say, it is the crown jewel of our programming that is accompanying this great exhibit. And that is an evening with Temple Grandin, which is sold out.
Yeah, it's just sold out.
It is sold out, but we're bringing someone onto the show that is, 99.9% responsible for the idea and all the legwork it took to bring Dr. Grandin to the library. And that person is none other than Public Services Manager Karen Hansen.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
It's my pleasure to be here. It's my first time.
Yeah, I believe so. We did have you scheduled, and then Emily had her incident.
Well, maybe it was because I didn't want to be on the show, actually.
You put out that much
tried
bad
to avoid
mojo?
you for a long time.
My dog tackled me and broke my leg and wrist, all for the name of not having to have Karen on the show.
That's right. I told the dog to initiate that plan so I could avoid your show.
Karen, you have to know that I wasn't going to just give up that easy.
Oh, I know you well enough, Tim. You
just
are
Emily being broken.
You do not give up on an idea easily, and maybe that's to our great benefit here at MPL.
Maybe, I guess it probably depends on the day and what time of day it is in your office. But
that's right.
So, also, anyone watching, if you have any questions about, well, we can't have questions about Jen Kitzman because she is gone. But if you have any questions about what Karen, questions or comments, just what Karen's going to be talking about, just type it into the comment section on either Facebook or YouTube, and we'll get it to Karen. But Karen, why don't you tell us a little bit about
what you do here?
Let's start what you do here.
Okay, I am the public services manager, and it's sort of a sprawling job. I think you would agree. Oh, look at your can. It was like blurred out. Are you trying to hide a brand from me?
No.
Okay.
No, it is. It's LaCroix.
Okay.
That was an unpaid endorsement.
I didn't know if that was allowed here. You know, if the city lawyer would approve of that.
I don't know. If I get contacted, I will let you know.
So I'm in charge of our operations downstairs for our service desks that serve adults and teens. I mean, we also serve kids. So there's that. And IT is under me. Marketing, right?
Hello.
Marketing, homebound services, one-to-one adult literacy partners, programming, which I've now delegated to you as the coordinator, Tim. So
thank you. Now words out.
It's a many-armed job, but I think I fit right in with my weird set of skills. And my general weirdness, too, because we know that that's true.
Well, you have to be a little weird to take on all those responsibilities.
You do, and you also have to be a little bit weird to work in public libraries and really thrive. I think you have to enjoy the weird, spicy things that every day might offer you.
Yes.
You know? It's not your grandma's library.
No, it is not.
No.
My grandma's library was over on Hamilton Street, actually.
And now it's gone.
As is my grandma.
Well,
it happens.
My grandma's
too.
Time
That's
moves
in one direction.
Yes.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit also about like what you like to do away from work, what your life is like outside of work?
Well, that's a loaded question. I wish you'd prepared me for that. Well, I do like gardening. I get kind of obsessive at this time of year where I think I really bore the person who does my hair because she's trying to, I really don't like small talk. I'll just tell you that. I don't like small talk. I also don't like people like rubbing my scalp vigorously and putting like essential oils by me. It's kind of, okay. So all that aside, she's like, oh, what are you going to do this year? I'm like, oh, nothing but garden. I have all these garden beds and I'm going to do this. So I'm kind of a nerd that way, but a noob for gardening because I, unlike some people here, am definitely a urban and suburban person thoroughly. This is the most rural place I've ever lived. So you were talking earlier about where your food comes from and how we don't think about that much. And I was just talking the other night about, like for me growing up, brown beef came on a polystyrene tray, right? That's how you say it, right? Polystyrene. It's a mouthful. Styrene, no. It's just not something that you think too hard about. And I'm actually pretty excited because so last week on Coolest Coast, I was talking to Tina about the Temple Grandin event. And I mentioned how I have a bucket list to like meet a cow up close and personal. And my wish is getting granted tomorrow.
What?
I'm going to meet a cow named Edith.
Edith.
No, it's so cute. So I'm really excited about that. And I confess, I wanted to have some other experience to kind of, as Temple Grandin would say, from a cow's eye view, kind of understand what is this cow thing all about, and what is it, or cattle, not just cows, which my husband corrected me last night. He said, cows are just female. The others are bull and steer.
You're like,
did he say it like that?
Almost. So,
did you hit him?
no, but I gave him up. Or maybe
the expression.
my little sister gave him this face.
Oh no! It's interesting that you bring up meeting the cow and everything. When
Yes.
the Hmong presentation a couple weeks ago, one of the people on the panel was talking about how he grew up in Detroit, but his father took him to a rural area outside of Detroit and taught him how to slaughter a cow.
Wow.
And to be able to, do it properly so that, you get everything that you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he is doing that for his sons now as well.
Wow.
And he said the thing is like, well, if you ever need it, if things just completely go off,
like post-apocalyptic on everybody,
you'll have a skill that you can use. But also, he said, it teaches you an appreciation of where your food actually comes from. And
yeah, that's right.
And I just think it's interesting that even when things aren't intentionally tying into Temple Grandin and the whole kind of ruralish theme with the exhibit we have going on and everything, how it is just kind of tying in unexpectedly. And I think that's pretty great.
Yeah.
But since we've been talking about Temple Grandin, there she is. Why don't you tell us a bit about why you wanted to bring her to the library?
How this came to be.
Yeah, how it came to be.
So it's kind of a long story, to be quite honest. I'd say at a personal level, my father and mother-in-law a few years ago gave me one of her books. It's called Different, Not Less. And I was trying to wrap my head around all things autism at the time. And it was a really intriguing look because this book is technically some of her story and a compilation of stories of other people who are on the autism spectrum talking about their lives and their challenges and their successes and the ways that they can thrive in ways that today are more possible than they would have been when Temple was born and when she was a young child. I mean, they were going to the doctors wanted to institutionalize her because she could not speak until she was 3 years old. And there were some other things. So it was such an interesting and mind opening view of autism that I'd never had before. And that really started my interest in her. And I learned more about her story and delved into some of her other books. So I actually have some ties too with family who have worked with people she works with on humane handling of cattle in that industry. And so knowing I had that connection, and also once we committed to American Farmer, what was it, like 2-3 years ago, Tim?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I thought, oh boy, this is going to be, we could have her here possibly, and it would fit really well with American Farmer because of her agricultural contributions. And, if you've never heard of her, she is someone who has impacted your eating, your meals, if you eat meat, that is, whether or not you know it. She has reimagined aspects of the cattle industry and has made it much more humane in the handling of cattle and the understanding of animal behavior. And we have a system of treatment and not just at the slaughterhouse, but before the slaughterhouse, there are things called dip vats where a cow needs to get rid of all the parasites on them or other things, and they go in this dip vat, and it helps them. And so that was one of the first things she designed that was really much more calming for the animal and didn't result in injuries and other things and other holdups. So, she believes in humane handling to make sure that the food that we eat has a life that is treated with dignity and respect. But also there's an economic end of things where, if cattle are scared or they are upset or there's something as innocuous as a flag waving nearby where they're trying to make their way through a vat, for example, those things can cause delay. They can cause the cattle to get bruised, injured, you name it. Or when they're in a slaughterhouse, if you have them scared and releasing stress hormones and other things, it's actually more important that the way she has redesigned these, and she's, I think, redesigned like 30% of the slaughterhouses in the country.
That's remarkable.
That is an experience that saves money by reducing injuries. And, she's also introduced standards where there were none. Like, for example, there might have been a guideline for making sure that there's not, that you're not upsetting them or they're not distressed. Well, what does that actually mean? How do you know if they're distressed? And so some of her standards would be counting moos, believe it or not.
Wow.
They're not going to moo and vocalize typically unless they're distressed. And running is another sign of distress. So those are some things that people have to measure in slaughterhouses now to determine whether they're meeting the standards or not. And you will see that there are many big name chain restaurants, McDonald's, others that for a very long time now, for decades, have been using her standards to create a product that is brought to your table or in your car if you're going through a drive-through and eating, that is a little more humanely treated. And that her contributions far exceed what I have just mentioned. She's written many academic papers and books about this sort of thing, but she credits that viewpoint, that cow's eye view, in understanding cattle and animal behavior to her autism. And that autism she identifies is the way a prey animal would think in her autism to being able to comprehend animal behavior. And so it was, I think, in the 80s where she started to have a voice of self-advocacy in the autism community. And we have seen her voice is one of the very first, if not the first, that really talks as a person with autism of what it is like to have autism. And that's really that's a pretty recent development. And her advice and her insights and all of that, the many books she has published about this have really transformed how we think about autism and other people who are neurodiverse and their contributions and potential. Her most recent book, I have it right here, as a matter of fact. Visual thinking. Visual thinking is a great way to think about the different kind of minds that we have in our society. And some of these minds are ones that are not typically rewarded or recognized in our society. Maybe people don't get great grades, or they struggle to learn in a system that is really focused on abstract and verbal thinking, when visual thinking is really one of those things that brings us great invention. And she really talks about the rewards that we reap if we can reconsider how we how we absorb those visual thinkers in our workforce and how we maybe transform the educational system. And she even talks about in this book, animals and their thinking is visual thinking. I mean, animals are not, you can't really think of them necessarily as verbal in the same way we are, but it's very fascinating in thinking about animals and having different intelligence than we comprehended before. And some of the predictions and the way she viewed animals decades ago, science is just starting to catch up to that. And the intelligence of creatures that, and the inner lives, the inner emotional lives that they have too, and how we can reconsider them.
I can't wait to see her speak.
Yeah.
And, hopefully get to meet her. And it must be very gratifying, that you intuitively tapped into something that people overwhelmingly wanted to see.
That was really a surprise to me. I have to
selling
say,
out in under 12 hours.
I know you predicted it, but I try to be really reserved about my expectations, just because you do never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm really encouraged with the way we have so much enthusiasm from the agricultural community, and the autism community and community of neurodiverse people and their caregivers, family, and supporters. That evening, one of the people who's going to introduce Dr. Grandin with me is Angie Ulness from the Extension. She is a agricultural educator in our county. And Angie is going to talk about Dr. Grandin's amazing agricultural contributions. And I know it's so exciting to people I never would have guessed. And I think it's just a thrill when we tap into something that we didn't realize our community wanted so much. And I find it so encouraging.
Well, and I think one of the things that surprised me too is I was seeing a lot of comments on Facebook of people who said that they saw her speak at one time and just said that how amazing it was. And I mean, I just didn't know that many people in this area would be having awareness,
Yeah.
I mean, including I feel like I'm definitely more aware now, but I didn't really before. And, but I think it's amazing how many people are, so thrilled about this.
Now, even though it's sold out, we're still encouraging people to show up at the theater the day of, right?
Why not?
To see if anything opens up.
If it were me and I wanted a seat badly, I'd show up. I mean, there's no guarantee, but that's the thing about these tickets is that anyone who has them has been given the expectation that you got to be in your seat by 6, or it may be forfeit and somebody else may take that seat, because we do have a lot of interest. We had a waiting list that filled up pretty quickly. And I'd say just about the only option at this point is to hope for the best with standby and to get seated with those options. But I will say that we are still looking for Q&A questions for submission to me. We haven't received that many yet, and we aren't doing a live Q&A to really keep this program tight and considerate of people's time and Dr. Grandin's time. And I would invite anyone who's coming to submit a question if they want to have it considered for Dr. Grandin to answer.
And what is your email address?
It's Kate Hansen, that's KHANSEN at manitowoc.org. And you can see all that information on the calendar or the event page.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm excited to say that we have ASL interpreter services that night too.
Oh,
wow.
So, yeah.
That's great.
If there is still anybody out there who requires these services, we may still be able to. I'm not sure if we can really rearrange seating at this point, but we do have those services just in case.
That's awesome.
So we really wanted it to be a very inclusive event in recognition of the many needs that we may have for the people who are coming.
That's very exciting. And I'm just excited about the whole kit and caboodle that, it's come together in the way it has. So it's amazing that, Dr. Grandin's going to be here. it's an amazing opportunity for the community, but also just as for me, as an individual, I'm pleased about it as well. So, well, on that note, we're going to make that very, very easy and smooth transition into.
Now,
I'm so excited.
I can smell your sarcasm a mile away.
Now we've been talking about cattle.
Oh,
but we're transitioning to a different animal.
Cats.
Oh,
we love
cats.
Yes. So we know that you don't like surprises and whatnot, but we thought it would be really fun to do just a little cat trivia.
I'm hoping I get an A on this.
Well,
if you do, you win an amazing reward.
There's a valuable prize. There will be 7 questions.
Okay.
If you get the majority of these questions right, you win the valuable prize.
Okay. Well, you really should have done 9 questions for 9 lives, right?
We normally do 5. We thought we were being excessive with 7.
Okay. Tell me the first one.
All right. This one's going to be hard because I won't be able to pronounce the answer. The first question is what organ allows cats to taste air?
The vomeronasal organ.
That is correct. And do you know what I found out talking to Mara about it last night?
Yeah.
Mara, my wife, who's a veterinarian, just so I'm not just randomly talking to people about cat organs. But she says that literally cats have a sixth sense. That is not really it's not a combination of taste or smell. It's its own entity.
It's a special organ. And I'll say I know this because there is a program on Netflix called The Line, or not Netflix, some streaming service now, The Line in Your Living Room. And they talk all about this. And that organ, let me just tell you, I'm going to point out in little, my cat's mouth here.
Don't get hurt.
Yes, I know. It's way up on the roof of its mouth.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm so pleased that you knew this and I didn't have to attempt to say it. So it's also called Jacobson's
So you're
organ.
1 for 1.
Okay.
All right. Question 2. What is the name for a cat that has more than 18 toes?
Polydactyl.
Ding, ding, ding. You are right again. See, you were all worried.
No, I'm not worried, but we'll see how much of a nerd I am.
Okay, so 2 for 2.
True or false? Cats will refuse an unpalatable food to the point of starvation.
You might have stumped me, but so it's hard to say because one of my cats is not very discerning in his taste and will lick up even a drop of medicine that falls to the ground. I don't think Shadow qualifies, but I'm going to say that's true.
You are correct.
Okay, I'm going to impress you some more because cats are obligate carnivores. They only eat meat.
Oh. Yep. Yeah. That is true. That wasn't one of the questions, but you are 3 for 3.
Okay.
Number 4, according to Kissimo.com, what is the top male cat name in 2024? And any of the top 3, we will give you 2 guesses.
Sure.
You get 2 guesses.
And if you name one,
any of the top 3, it will be considered a correct answer.
That's a toughie. I'm going to just go with my gut and say Max is one of them.
That is not correct.
Oh, darn. Okay. Shadow.
Both excellent names, but not in the top 3. Shadow is in the top 10.
Okay. Just Garfield.
Okay. Nope. Oddly enough, the top 3, according to Kissimo, are Oliver, Bowie, and Loki.
I would not have gotten that. I'm sorry.
Mara said she has no Oliver cats or Bowie cats, but she has a couple of Lokis.
Okay, well, whatever. That's very pop culture.
Well,
that's not a name that's going to endure. I'll just put it that way.
Just gimmies.
On to the next.
3 and 1 so far. You're
right.
still
You have to have a name that is going to grow with their resume, right?
Yes.
cat
Okay.
resume.
In which country was a cat born with green fur? Bonus point if you also know the year.
Green fur. What country? That you might have stumped me on that one, but I'm going to guess Egypt. No. Well, then why bother with the year?
The year. Well, it would be a bonus point if you guessed the right year.
I don't know. 1960.
That's a good year, but not the right year.
It was Denmark in 1995, and some people believe that the high levels of copper in the water pipes nearby may have given his fur a how do you say that word?
Where are we? Verdigris.
Effect.
Whoa. That happened to a golden retriever, or was it a golden retriever puppy that was born green too?
Oh.
I feel like I remember seeing something like
Yeah,
that.
the dog totally was a little green. It's not easy being green, right?
No.
Well,
all right,
still two more opportunities.
Okay.
In 1997, an orange tabby was made honorary mayor of the historic district of Talkeetna, Alaska, until his death in 2017. What was the name of this cat?
I feel like this would have been one you would have known.
I don't know. I would say his name is Mayor, but I mean, that's dumb.
It was Stubbs.
Stubbs. Wow. You should have given me more science questions. You gave me stuff that's, kind of at the bottom of the litter box there.
Oh, do you know what? Talking about the vomeronasal organ, going back to that, Mara told me that an enclosed litter box is a cat's nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's just altogether too intense. She said even if the person's like a neat freak and changes the litter every day,
I don't like it.
Too much. Never have it covered.
Yeah.
So anyway, your little paw scratching reminded me of that. All right.
Maybe that'll help Emily there with her cat Earl, who dislikes them too, right?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yep.
We won't go there. All right. Last one.
Last opportunity.
But this is also like a bonus point one too. So.
Okay.
In what year was the first cat video filmed? And bonus point if you can name by who?
The cat video filmed or
first? We'll give you a hint.
I think I might know which.
They refer to it as a video.
Okay.
But it wasn't in the videotape era.
Okay. Well, I'm going to guess it's Keyboard Cat, and I don't know, like 2003. I don't know.
Wrong.
That is incorrect.
You guys are very specific.
Well, the thing is, the Library of Congress refers to this as the first cat video.
Okay.
But it's not a video in the way we would think of it.
Are you talking about like a very old footage of a cat?
We will give you another guess at it.
Okay.
If you're thinking very, very old.
Very, very old. I'm going to guess like, I don't know, like this is going to be bad, but 1905? Maybe that wasn't even invented by then.
Much closer, but it's 1894.
That's what I was actually should have thought of. I was going to say 1890 before that, but
do you have a guess who may have done it, knowing the year?
What?
Do you have a guess who filmed it?
Who filmed it?
Knowing the year.
I don't. No, you lost me.
Thomas Edison.
Oh, that makes sense. He was kind of not a very nice guy with animals.
Not at all.
He was very cruel to elephants.
But we have the video.
Oh, you do? The boxing cats. That's what my cats do.
Like this?
Oh, I wish they did. Are they taxidermied?
No, they're real cats being held by harnesses by the doctor, by the good
doctor.
doctor.
Wow. You know, you could just let my cats do that and they'd be happy to without the gloves. Gloves off.
Well, you didn't win, but when you
I didn't.
Prize,
I got I got the good questions that were the science questions.
You started so strong.
I know.
Well, when we have you on the show next time, maybe you'll have a chance to win the prize, but we can't show you. But I bet you thought that, your time was done.
Oh.
Oh, it's not.
I think I could see the eye roll all the way over here.
I felt it.
Yeah.
My eyes, I promise.
No, this is just kind of our fun little segment where it's just to kind of get to know the employee. Super random questions, and they're best answered on the spot. So
okay.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong. Well, there's a right answer, but what do you want to start?
I'll go first. What is the weirdest food combination you enjoy?
Boy. Cheez-Its on Cheez-Its.
I know the full story.
Don't tell the whole story. Trust me, it's a weird story.
I will not tell the full story, but that does qualify. You're right. It does qualify. I'll tell you off the air. Okay. Question 2. If you could visit any place in the world, where would that be?
Okay. I have to admit, I have a very weird bucket list of things to do. Okay?
Okay.
And one thing on my bucket list is to go see that giant muskie in Hayward, Wisconsin.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I do too.
Yeah.
We'll go. Do it this weekend.
I don't think this weekend is the weekend or next weekend.
Meet a cow this week.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to meet a cow. But I do want to see that muskie. I like weird places to visit. So that would be.
Have you been to Mount Horeb, which is the troll?
I want to see that too.
It's not that impressive.
Well, but the Mustard Museum is.
That as well. Okay, so I also want to see some kind of museum of taxidermied squirrels too.
Oh,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I recommend going to House on the Rock.
Oh, yeah.
We have that is like the weirdest thing ever.
From the Mustard Museum, though, my Poop on You mug is one of my prized possessions. And Devin has a Poop on You sweatshirt. I don't know if she's thrown it out by now, but she used to wear it all the time.
Well, you can check up on her, right?
Yeah.
All right, next question. What is the most terrible movie you legitimately enjoy?
Oh, I love some really terrible ones.
We know.
Okay, I'm just going to admit, Deep Impact.
Oh.
I don't think I've seen that one. Is that with Jodie Foster?
That's bad.
Contact.
Yeah, it's about an asteroid hitting.
It's Elijah Wood in it.
Elijah Wood and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. It's one of those classic disaster movies of the mid to late 90s.
I do
terrible.
Love a disaster
yeah,
movie.
It's terrible.
Yeah. There's a lot to make fun of in that movie.
But a lot to enjoy if you like bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. I agree. Okay. What unusual workplace benefit would you love to receive?
I had never thought about that. Maybe pet insurance.
Oh my God, that would be so
in the package.
Great.
That's a good
Wouldn't
one.
that be great?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Affordable pet insurance.
Yes, affordable pet insurance.
Affordable. That's right.
I would like free snacks and lunches.
Yeah.
You know, like a cafeteria that we could just help ourselves to.
Or just a nacho fountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think that
it was being monitored.
The wellness program might not like that impact to our heart health.
We don't have to listen to them all the time.
All right. If you could design your own work schedule, what would it look like?
You guys
work like 3 days a week, 4 days off, early mornings, late days.
I think that what I do right now is what I prefer. I just can't stand working long days.
Yeah.
So I just feel I tank and don't get as productive. I just like lose my productivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough.
Final
And the
question.
last question, what number is Tim and Emily currently thinking of?
43.
Nope, 74.
No, 76.
76.
Oh, you didn't even know it. That's a lie.
Stop lying.
Actually, we did have it written down.
Well, it's blurred out.
Tim just
The
we'll
blurriness.
show you off camera. Well,
Thank you so much for being on and enduring the shenanigans and the silliness. I'm sorry
you caught me in your web.
Prize.
You know, you caught me in your web.
Well, thank you for being here, Karen.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Oh,
And that's our
well
show
done.
for today.
Yeah.
It was an absolutely
I'm
wonderful
actually
show.
amazed. We're ending it at 47 minutes.
I know.
I mean, or will be. You know.
Pretty good. Pretty good
It's a
for the
new
likes
record
of
for
us.
Wow.
So no questions or comments today. So we'll do it next month.
Next month, Thursday, July 18th, same time, 12 o'clock. We will be here again, and we will have one, maybe two guests. The second guest actually hasn't started her employment here yet, but she, we're hoping she'll agree to come on with our Homebound Services Associate, Margot Meyer.
Yep.
We have someone who will be starting in the one-to-one literacy department, and we would love to introduce everybody to her. So we're crossing our fingers. She'll join
Crossing
the
our
show.
fingers. Hopefully she starts in early July, so we won't know till then. But we'll be talking, I believe we might be talking about the spelling bee for adults, the Bruin bee also.
Yep. Yes, we will.
So
Which
as
also,
always,
registration opens for that on your birthday.
it does.
9
In
a.m.
honor of my birthday, registration for the spelling bee opens at 9 a.m. online. We know of one person who's doing it for sure already, but you know, it is really fun event.
I think we know of a couple.
Yeah, we probably
There's
do.
a lot of return participants.
Competitive participants
Yes.
who have not yet hoisted the trophy.
Mhm.
But anyway, we'll talk about that next month. Thank you so much for being here, and until next month.
Yeah.
Have a great time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.